It was the first major solar eclipse to sweep across northern Europe for 6 years, bringing almost total darkness to many areas. But along with the eerie drop in sunlight as the moon moved across the face of the sun, many people reported experiencing strange changes in the weather. Now a series of special scientific reports have shown that these effects were far from imagined, and prove for the first time that solar eclipses can lead to changes in the weather. Using data from several networks of sensors, weather stations, satellites, weather balloons and members of the public, scientists have found the solar eclipse on March 20 last year led to changes in the wind. The temperatures across the UK, where the study was conducted and between 85% and 97% of the sun was obscured, dropped by an average of 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. In some places temperatures dropped by as much as 5 or 6 degrees. Wind speeds fell by up to 2.3 miles per hour, while in areas with clear skies it changed direction by as much as 20 degrees. It supports of what is known as an eclipse wind and strange silences during solar eclipses. Researchers also took the opportunity to assess how weather models are able to predict changes in the weather during the sudden loss of sunlight. They also found that temperature drops during the eclipse appear to alter depending on the landscape. Temperatures fell less in coastal regions and mountainous areas, while those locations covered in vegetation also had smaller drops in land surface temperature. Professor Giles Harrison, an atmospheric physicist at the University of Reading who was one of the scientists involved in the studies, told Mail Online, "Last year's solar eclipse was essentially a chance to conduct a giant experiment with the atmosphere. It allowed us to watch what happens to the atmosphere when there is a sudden drop in sunlight." Together with colleague Professor Suzanne Gray, a meteorologist at the University of Reading, Professor Harrison examined data collected by Met Office weather stations and roadside weather sensors across the UK. They found that the wind change appears to be caused by variations to the boundary layer in the atmosphere, the area of air that usually separates high-level winds from those on the ground. As temperatures dropped during the eclipse, it appears this boundary layer also fell closer to the surface, meaning the drag on the wind from the land was greater. It is similar to what occurs at sunset, but over a much shorter period of time. Professor Harrison said, "This is perhaps the most complete explanation for reports of the eclipse wind that many people report experiencing. As the sun disappears behind the moon, the ground cools. This means warm air stops rising from the ground, causing a drop in wind speed and shift in its direction as the slowing of the air by the Earth's surface changes." The results are published in a special edition of the world's oldest scientific publication, Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society A. It is published 301 years after Edmund Halley reported sensing the chill and damp that accompanied a solar eclipse in 1715 in the same journal. At the time he reported the effect instilled some horror in onlookers. While few people were left terrified by last year's solar eclipse, there were many reports from members of the public of changes in the weather. Views were largely obscured by cloud across much of Britain, but some gained clear view of the moon as it travelled between the sun and the earth. Some reported birds fell silent as the skies darkened and wind speeds fell. Professor Harrison added, "There were some effects we did not see that are often reported. For example, there are often reports of the clouds parting around the point of totality, but we didn't see any evidence for that." The researchers are now hoping to use another solar eclipse, due to sweep across highly populated areas of the U.S. in exactly a year's time, to study the effects on the weather further.